DOL number 10. Let's go. Allow me to open it up very quickly. There it is. Let's take a look. If you'll help I memorize the poem The Raven, me will help you analyze the short story Snowfall in Childhood. Let me read that again. If you'll help I memorize the poem The Raven, me will help you analyze the short story Snowfall in Childhood. So clearly I have my pronouns mixed up in here. So I'm going to ask you to take a look and tell me what I mean. Well, first get a copy down. Now that you have a copy down, let's look at these pronouns. If you'll help I memorize the poem, a lot of people at this time would say, Mr. Kenny, capitalize the word I. And I would say, why? And I'd say, because you can't have singular I's in a sentence like that. And I would say, in most cases, you are correct, but this is wrong. Why is that wrong? Because you don't say, if you help I memorize. It's if you help me memorize. Excellent. The poem, The Raven. Me will help you analyze the short story Snowfall in Childhood. Oh, no. That's I will help you. So if you help me, I will help you. So let's go back to the beginning of the sentence. If, let's capitalize that. If you'll help me. When we say you'll, what two words am I contracting? That is correct. You and will. So if you will help me. So the apostrophe goes before the two L's, and that tells me that I am connecting these two words, you and will. So if you will help me or you'll help me memorize the poem The Raven. Wait a minute. What's wrong with memorize? Of course, it's not a Y, it's an I. So if you'll help me memorize the poem The Raven, I will help you analyze the short story Snowfall in Childhood. All right, first of all, the poem, The Raven. There's two things that need to get done to that. One, we capitalize it, of course. So we have The Raven. All right, we capitalize The Raven. Now, what do I do to the title of that poem? It's a poem. Poems are normally shorter, unless they tell you it's a very long poem. If it's a short poem, we would put it in quotation marks, of course. So if you'll help me memorize the poem The Raven, I will help you analyze the short story Snowfall in Childhood. We have a problem, though. Did you notice that there's a pause after the word raven? If you'll help me memorize the poem The Raven, I will help you analyze the short story Snowfall in Childhood. So pauses again get made with commas. But here's the issue. Does that comma go inside those quotation marks or outside? Guess what, guys? We like to put it on the inside in America. And the reason is because we consider the comma to still be part of the sentence. It's just not part of the title. So since it's part of the sentence, it goes inside those quotation marks. Let's continue. I will help you analyze. Interesting. Analyze is spelled wrong. Look at memorize. Isn't it funny? Memorize has the I and analyze has the Y. I had it backwards. I'll help you analyze the short story Snowfall in Childhood. Okay, what do we do to short stories? We put them in quotation marks. Correct. So let's put those quotation marks. Now let's fix this title. Snowfall needs obviously to be capitalized. Now, we don't capitalize articles inside titles. It just looks bad when we do that. So I have Snowfall in Childhood. Clearly, Snowfall is misspelled, so I put a W and L. So I have Snowfall in Childhood. Ooh, look at short story. Do I capitalize the word short story? No, I capitalize the short story title, but I don't capitalize the word short story. That gets put into lowercase. And I have one more problem in this sentence. What goes at the end of every sentence if it's not a question mark? It's a period. But here's my problem. Where does my period go? Do I put the period at the end, at the outside of the quotation marks? No, I don't. Let's get rid of that. What I do is, remember, the period is still part of the sentence, even though it's not part of the title. So I put my period inside after childhood. All right? Even though it's not part of the title of the short story, it is part of this sentence. And since this short story is being put into the sentence, I put the period before the quotation marks. Let's take a look and see how I did. If you'll, remember I'm contracting you and will, so I put you'll together with the apostrophe. Help me, not I, memorize. I fixed the I. The poem The Raven. Take a look at this now. The Raven is in quotes. I capitalized the Raven. Articles in the beginning of titles get capitalized. Notice my comma inside the quotes, even though it's not part of the title, The Raven, it is part of this sentence. Then I have I'll, and I capitalize. Oh, you know what? I didn't do that up top. I put I will, and that's fine, but notice down here, I did contract it just to show you how that's done. And I will contracts to I'll with the apostrophe in the middle. Just make sure, of course, you capitalize the I'll. Help you analyze. I fixed analyze with an I. the short story, Snowfall in Childhood. Notice I decapitalized short and story. I put Snowfall in Childhoods into quotation marks. I capitalize Snowfall. I capitalize Childhood. I don't capitalize in because, of course, that's an article within a title. And then, of course, take a look at the end here, everybody. The period goes inside these quotation marks because it's part of this whole sentence. Excellent job today, everybody. Thank you very much.